ready to start, we can mute everybody. But a heads up for what we're gonna need. You're gonna need 3 different colors, okay? We're making penguins today. I am gonna be making my penguin black, the body. And then I'm gonna be using white as well and orange, but you don't have to use these colors. You can use whatever colors you want, okay? You can use a different color if you don't have black. Penguins you can use a blue. You can even make a purple penguin if you want. You can do whatever you want.
Did you roll a ball?
So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take my long black strip and I'm gonna rip it into 2 pieces. Okay.
Like that?
Yeah. And then my other black strip, I'm gonna rip into 2 more pieces. Okay. I'm gonna set one of them off to the side.
Are
And
those
then
big enough?
Yep. And then I'm gonna rip one of these into 2. So we've got a large ball, a medium ball, 2 smaller balls, okay?
For a second, I think.
And
Derek has a question. Go ahead.
yeah, go ahead, Derek.
I can't even see nothing.
You can't see anything?
No.
You can't see anything. Like, is it just black?
What was that?
That's your lunch.
No way.
What are you wearing bright glasses, dude?
Because I need my glasses
There
to
we
see.
go. Oh yeah.
Can you see it now, Derek?
Still nothing.
Still nothing? I'm on TV, Joe.
You're on TV.
Yeah.
Let's see, bright colors.
No way.
See
Is
if I
it
can-
good now, Derek?
What? I think we're just waiting for Derek because he's having trouble seeing.
Okay, here we
I see.
go.
Okay, perfect. You can see us good now?
Yes.
1 second, I'm gonna do this.
Yes.
Is that better?
Derek, is that good?
Yeah, that's good.
Perfect. And then maybe adjust the YouTube one. Perfect.
Is that gonna be too small?
No, those are good.
And then roll these into balls?
Yes. Okay, so we have our big ball, our medium ball, and our 2 littler ones,
See if
okay?
I can. Oh, I'm not good at this.
And then we're gonna roll these up into balls.
Good at rolling these.
The big one will be our body. The medium one will be our head. And these 2 small ones are gonna be his little wings, flippers, I don't know what they're called. I don't know. His little arm, so they're gonna be his arm.
Flippers, I think.
Yeah. So while you guys are rolling your balls, I'm gonna give you a penguin fact. The smallest penguin in the world is the little blue penguin, and it's also called a fairy penguin. And they're no more than 3 pounds, so they're very, very, very tiny. Okay, so now I've got these ones are into balls, and I'm just gonna roll these ones up some more.
These are good.
Yeah, perfect. And then just roll your tiny ones a little bit. Uh-oh. What's that sound? While I'm rolling these, I'm gonna give you another fact. So remember when we've talked about animals, usually I'll tell you how many different species there are of different animals. Well, scientists don't know how many species there are of penguins. They think it's about 17 to 20, but they actually have no clue still. So still learning lots about penguins. So now that I have my balls, my bigger one is gonna be my body. So I'm gonna attach my medium one to my bigger one and just set it on top. Okay, so that way we've got a head there. I'm just gonna kind of use my fingers to, oh, my glasses are fogging up. I'm gonna just kind of use my fingers to mold these together so that my head is attached to my body. And just smooth it out a little bit. I can't, my glasses are fogging up.
Is this good?
Yeah, that's better. Yeah, it looks good. Okay, so you see how I'm attaching my body to my head here so that his head isn't gonna roll off? Here we go. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take these balls here. We're gonna make them into kind of like little ovals. Little oval balls. And then I'm gonna flatten it. Like that, okay? Oh, I hear myself. I don't like that. Okay, so I have little,
Staticky so much.
I don't know. Okay, so I've got my flat ones here.
Is that good?
Yes.
One.
And then our flat one, and they're gonna be kind of like oval shapes, okay? So like this. Because we're gonna use these as his little wings or flippers or whatever they're called.
I think they're called flippers.
How's everybody doing? Are they coming along? Okay, so now with this, what I'm gonna do is on one of the ends, I'm gonna kind of point it into like a triangle shape. So it looks kind of like a teardrop, okay?
Wait, how
See, it looks like a big
how do you
teardrop.
do that now?
So with one of the ends of the oval, I'm gonna take my fingers like this, and I'm gonna pinch just one end, pinch it. And then it'll kind of turn it into like a
Kind of like that.
teardrop shape. Yeah, and then you just kind of flatten it out a little bit more. And then you just shape it with your fingers a little bit. Oh, here? Is that better?
Yeah.
So look, they're like little teardrops now. Big teardrops, actually.
So kind of like that.
Yeah, and then you flatten it down a little bit, like this, Tom. You push down it like
Oh.
that. So you'll flatten it like that. And they'll be like teardrops.
Kind of like that.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so now we're gonna take those, and just below the head on each side, we're gonna attach our little teardrop shapes, okay? I'm gonna move back a little bit. So now we're gonna attach them.
Does it matter if it's like that?
No, that's perfect.
Because it doesn't need to be flat.
On either side of his body. Kind of attach them to the head there. So it's gonna look like this, okay? He's not gonna be able to stand yet because we've got to get his feet.
I can't make
Okay, let's see. Which part are you trying to make? His body?
the body.
Okay, so you just roll it into a ball.
Okay.
Roll it into a ball. While I wait for everybody to catch up with the wings, I'm
that's
going to give
good.
you another penguin fact. Yep. Here, what I would do is wait. These pointy parts, you're going to stick on the side like that.
On the side?
Yeah, so like, do you see
that?
how the teardrop part is at the top there? Yeah, perfect.
And, the same
And then
with
they
this
kind of
one?
flap down, like his little hands like hang by his side. So while
Does
we
it
wait,
matter if they don't hang?
no, it doesn't matter. He could be like flapping, getting ready to kind of fly. So while I'm waiting for everybody to catch up, I'll move my chair back a little bit.
Our internet is going
Oh, it's coming and going?
now because we have lots of
Because we have lots of iPads. We don't need all the iPads if people are just coming back and forth, like staff, to see.
Internet is cutting in and out.
Because we have all the iPads going.
All the iPads.
Yeah.
I think it's doing it.
Okay, so our next step here, actually before we do our next step, I'm gonna give you another penguin fact. So penguins jump into the air before diving and it helps them swim faster. So they release little air bubbles in the water from their feathers and it actually makes them able to swim 3 times as fast. And they can jump 6 to 9 feet in the air. So penguins can jump higher than my height into the air. Into the water, 6 to 9 feet. So like not even my height, less than my height to like the height of a basketball player. That's how high they can jump. It's pretty crazy. Just straight up into the water. And it helps them move faster. Okay, so now I have my orange piece here, but you can use a different color. I'm gonna break that into 3 pieces. One is gonna be tiny, and then 2 big pieces. So this is gonna be my feet.
Is that small enough?
I'd make it a little bit tinier for the beak.
And
So I have
are
kind of
those
like a
too big
tiny,
enough?
tiny one. No, those are good, and just divide them evenly because they're gonna be your feet. So I have a tiny, tiny one, which is gonna be his little beak
Is that
or his
small
mouth.
enough? Or take it off more?
Oh, that's good. And then I've got 2 bigger ones, and these are gonna be his feet. Okay?
Neat.
So we're gonna roll all of those into balls. While we do that, before penguins were called penguins, they were actually called strange geese because they looked a little bit like geese to people. So
Is
people
that
would
big
just call
enough
them
for the
string
big
geese.
ones
Yep.
of orange?
Yeah, for his feet, perfect. Okay, so while you guys do that, we're gonna get these rolled out, and then once you have your balls, your bigger orange balls, we're gonna flatten them, okay? They're gonna be flat circles. Actually, you can make them into teardrop shapes again. That'll be easier. So make them into teardrops. We do a lot of teardrops in this.
This one's not round.
That's okay if it's not perfectly round. Okay, so we're gonna flatten it out.
It's not round.
No, that looks round, that's perfect. It doesn't have to be perfectly round anyways, because we're shaping them out into like teardrops anyways. So now that I have my 2 teardrops, what I'm gonna do, you can take like a toothpick or a knife or a pen or something, is I'm just gonna make 3 little slits in his feet. Okay?
Goodness.
And this is for his flippers or whatever they're called. I guess I should have looked that up. I don't know the anatomy of a penguin.
I think they're flippers.
Yeah, we'll have to
Now-
give it a
now
look
what?
up after. Okay,
Now
so
what
now if
for
you have your
these?
little feet for your penguin, is
Taylor,
everybody
what-
that far
what
so
now?
far? We all got our feet? You gotta flatten them and turn them into the teardrop shapes again. I'm just gonna add his little feet to his body. My penguin has giant feet, accidentally. But your penguin's enough to be proportional. Yeah? You gotta lift it higher. Nice, Allie, that looks good, I love it.
I'm fully done.
Yeah, you're always like a couple steps ahead of me, hey? You always beat me to the finish line.
I know.
Looks good though, I love it. Okay, so now that we have our feet for our penguin,
So like that for the first one?
yeah. And then you're gonna just take a pen and you can draw the 3 little lines in his feet. So, now with my other one, my other little tiny orange piece,
And like that too?
yes, perfect. I'm gonna kind of turn it into like a cone shape, okay?
3,
So it looks kind of like a cone. You know, like the shape of an ice cream cone?
2.
That's exactly what the shape is gonna be. So your penguin's nose is like an ice cream cone. And
So how
I'm
do you
gonna stick
attach
that
the
ice cream
feet?
cone on his face.
Just like that?
Yeah, just on the bottom. You just stick them there. My penguin has got giant feet. I don't know about your guys's. I don't know how he walks with these things, but he does
Mine's gonna
somehow.
have giant feet too.
Nice. So while I wait for you guys to get the beak and the feet on there, another
Should-
fun fact for you is that penguin suits actually act as camouflage.
Taylor, should I just overlap it?
Yeah, you could just overlap them. So it may seem kind of funny that a penguin is black and white in the water. You're like, how is he camouflaged if he's black and white? But so his back black bends that's a tongue twister. His black back blends in with the water. So any sort of like prey that's on the surface or like on ground, when they look in the water, they just see darkness. So they are not going to see the penguin because his black back is black. Oh my gosh, all these B words, they're just tongue twisting. And then
How do
his
you do
belly's
the
white.
Eyes, or are you there?
We'll get there in a minute,
What
yeah.
do you do with this?
So you're going to turn it into a cone shape like that.
How did you do that?
Like, you know the shape of an ice cream cone? So you're just going to squeeze it around to turn it into an ice cream cone
Like,
and then just stick it on his face.
like that?
Yeah, perfect. And then you just stick it on his face. So his back disguises him from any sort of prey that's on land because when they look in the water, they see black and his back is black. And his belly's white because when you're a creature in the water and you're looking up to the surface, you're gonna see sunlight. And his white belly looks like sunlight. So the white belly helps them disguise themselves in the water. So the black helps looking into the water, and the white belly helps when a creature's looking up into the sky. So they can disguise themselves pretty well. Even though you'd think black and white, like how does that, how does a tuxedo looking creature hide in the water? But it works. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our white ball
Oh,
and I'm gonna break off just a tiny piece of it. So we have a big one and a little one. And then this little one I'm gonna break into 2 more pieces, okay?
so how small?
Just two tiny ones like this size. And they're just gonna be
So,
for his
like
eyeballs.
that?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Mike, can you stay awake?
Okay, so there we go.
Thanks, Mike.
I'm gonna put that off to the side. So now I'm gonna roll all these out and we're gonna have to, the big one we're gonna flatten because we're gonna stick it on his belly. We're gonna flatten it and make it very, very thin. I'm having to remove little bits of clay so that it's like small enough because he's only got a tiny belly. So just remove pieces if need be. See, so it's like a nice thin flat piece that I'm just gonna stick on his belly. This is the part of him that will hide him in the water when creatures are coming up.
I can't really roll one.
Hey, Joe. So while you guys get that, I'm gonna
And then
stick this on his belly.
Put the eyes on.
Yeah, go ahead, stick the eyes on. So I'm gonna stick his belly on him. I'm gonna make it a little bit tinier. So some extinct penguins grew more than 5 feet tall. So some extinct penguins were about my height. Could you imagine running into a
many
penguin and having it
think-
be about the same size
how
as
many
you?
do
But they're
the
extinct
stomach?
now, so they're
Because
not
those
around.
things
But at
big.
one point,
This weight is big.
you could just break pieces off, get rid of some of it, stick it off to the side. So that's pretty tall. Could you imagine
How
seeing a
much
penguin?
should
And,
how much should it take off?
no, that's good. And then you just flatten it on the belly. You can make it thin or thick or whatever you want.
Ooh, I don't know how.
There we
it's
go.
gonna work.
So we've got his belly. You can just kind of do whatever you want with it. You can just remove pieces as you
So
as
that's-
as you need. It doesn't have to be like super thick or. Okay, so now I'm gonna make his eyeballs. So with my white clay, I'm just gonna roll it into a ball and flatten it. You can make his eyes as big or small as you want. So another thing is that penguins don't have teeth, okay?
Yeah, they swallow the fish.
Yeah, they just swallow the fish. They have spines in their mouth. Do you know how you have a spine going down your back? Penguins have spines in their mouths, which is kind of interesting.
What do you think? Is that good? Because they don't have white anywhere
Yeah,
else,
that looks
right?
really good. And then what we're gonna
If you
do,
want to show them.
well, first we'll add the little eyeballs, and then because we gotta, I'm grabbing a little bit of black,
Oh,
and I'm
out
gonna
of
use it
black.
for his eyeballs. Here, I'll give you a little piece. Oh, you got that little tiny piece right there. Yeah, and then just use that one as well. So I'll wait for you guys to kind of catch up. And now he's got his eyes, he's got his white belly and his eyes. And then I'm gonna just take little pieces of black and I'm gonna stick them on the whites of his eyes so that he's got little
Is that good?
pupils. Yeah, it looks great. So I'll show you guys what Tom has so far. It looks
Yeah.
really good. Here.
Yeah.
And look at that, hey? Look at that penguin. Looks awesome.
He's cute.
Yeah, he is. He's very cute. So another fun fact for you while you guys make your penguins
Here, let's see if I can
is that
sit.
some penguins mate for life. So they can find when they're gone away in the water and they come back to their colony with thousands and thousands of penguins. Within minutes, they can find each other. And they have these distinct calls that they can find each other with. So like how we can recognize each other's voices, penguins can recognize each other's calls. And in a crowd of thousands and thousands of penguins, they'll recognize each other's calls, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Literally in minutes of thousands of penguins, they'll find each other.
Look, I'm
That
sitting
quick.
flat now.
Yeah, it looks really good. Okay, so
Maybe
I'm
what
adding
I'll
his
do is-
eyes, his pupils.
Oh, and this is ice.
And there we go. I have my penguin here.
Actually, it's snow. There.
So now I've got my 2 penguins here. Oh yeah, he's on snow. These are my 2 penguins that have mated for life. Here you go.
Can you show them the snow that I put?
Yeah, so Tom put his penguin on snow. You guys can do whatever you want with it. Here you go. Looks really good. You can add whatever you want to your penguin as well. Show me your penguins when they're done, guys. You know what I'm gonna add to my penguin?
We should get a glass of water and drop yours into the water.
Oh. That'd be cool. You'd have your penguin swimming, Allie. Okay. I'm gonna give my penguin a scarf because You know, it's pretty cold up there in
The North Pole.
the North Pole. I don't know if they're in the North Pole or the South Pole. I didn't actually look that up. Guess I
The
should have
North
done my
Pole, I'm
penguin
pretty
research
sure.
a little more. Okay, look, he's gonna have a scarf because it's freezing up there. Oh no, I broke his scarf. You can give him a hat, you can give him skis, a snowboard. Give your penguin whatever you want. Or he can just be a regular penguin. Or put him in water. Have him go for a swim. Okay, here you go. Look it. Now my penguin is very, very warm. You see his scarf? There he is. Looking good. Look at those, just two buddies. Okay, guys, you want to show me your penguins? What you've got so far? Let's see them. Ooh, Melissa. Nice. Allie, you want to move yours back a tiny bit? Nice. That looks really good. I love it.
Thanks.
Oh, Joanne. Nice.
Darren has a purple penguin.
Ooh, Darren. Purple. That's a good color for a penguin.
Penguins have.
Yeah.
Lots
They
of
have
purple
like
penguins.
separate thing.
Nice.
Separate
Separate what?
on their things don't on their flippers don't they have separate like flippers?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Mike, where's your penguin?
What else? Derek, let's see your penguin.
So,
Derek, let's see your penguin. Oh, there it is. Nice. That looks really good.
Yeah.
These all turned out great, guys. You've all gotten really good with clay. We're gonna have to do lots of fun clay activities when you guys get back.
Oh, and
I love doing
they
the
have
clay
a
stuff.
thing on their. They have a opening on their mouth.
Yeah, you could even make the opening on their mouth.
Yeah.
I don't know how I would do it, but you can do it if you want. My guy's just mouth is closed. Well, I had lots of fun making penguins with you guys, and I hope you learned a little bit about penguins.